Call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, January 22nd, 2026, Borough, 705 Kindermack Road, and Zoom. 7 p.m. meeting is starting at 7:08 due to some technical difficulties. Thank you to all who were patient with us. Could I have a moment of silent prayer and reflection for all those people who are trying to get over the aftermath of Hurricane Henry in the Mediterranean? And also for all those people who will be enduring severe weather conditions throughout the United States. Councilwoman Darwell, if you'd lead us in the salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification of January 9, 2026 of location, date, time, and access information to the town news and record, and by posting of the same on the municipal bulletin board and borough website and filing notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Here.
Council President Kinsella. Here. Councilwoman Malolari is absent with prior notice. Councilman Glass.
Here.
Councilwoman Darwell.
Here.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Here.
Mayor Papaleo.
Here. Okay, we're going to add to the presentation portion an oath of allegiance and office for Councilwoman Darwell to a state commission. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Right now, we have approval of the minutes. Could I have a motion and second to approve the minutes of the Mayor and Council 2025 Sine Die and 2026 reorganization meeting of January 6, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Now, if you need to recuse yourself, and Bruce, you would recuse yourself from the Sine Die, you would say yes, and then say, but I recuse myself afterwards. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Is there anyone who wishes to recuse or abstain?
Yes, I recuse myself.
You gotta turn on your mic. Good.
Yes, I recuse myself
From,
from the Sine Die.
okay, very good. Anyone else? Great. Could we have administrators report? Madam Administrator.
Yes, it's very early in the year. The one item I do have to report is we had an internal meeting with PSC&G. Borough engineer was present. We had representatives from the Department of Public Works, and they are resuming work in the borough in the spring to for the high pressure gas main program. And they plan to start in the beginning of spring of 2026, and they will be present along Concord Drive, Elm Avenue, Greenway Terrace, and Monroe Avenue. And to upgrade the gas lines, they dig trenches that are inspected by our Department of Public Works, primarily in road surfaces, and lay new pipes block by block to minimize disruptions. And they will send notifications out to the impacted residents. And after construction, PSC&G will need a technician to access the home to connect the service line and gas meter to the new gas main. And we'll have this information on our borough website that has their dedicated hotline if anyone has any questions. And just as a reminder to residents, we are undergoing the reevaluation process. In 2024, 100% of the borough was assessed. And the way the program works is the first year it's 100%. Then each year through 2029, 20% of the borough is reassessed just to make sure there aren't any fluctuations in the market with the assessment. So if you see anyone from Appraisal Systems, that is the company conducting the revaluation process, and they have badges provided to them by the police department.
Okay. All right then.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you for that download. Are you able to explain very briefly how the 20% is selected in each year?
They pick different homes in a block. So it could be that your neighbor was reassessed the second time last year, and you're not being reassessed this year, but you might hit in the following year. So they have a formula to just go throughout the borough and select certain properties. Appraisal Systems has, it is random, but it's not like they do an entire block. They within the block, they may do 2 houses, and then in the other block, they may do 3 or 4. It depends on the neighborhood, the structure, as well as if there has been any new construction since the prior year.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the administrator from council? All right, great. So we're going to start with oath of allegiance and for Councilwoman Darwell. Councilwoman Darwell, would you and your family please come forward? Can you hear me? Good, good. So great. I'm going to give you this. So our own Councilwoman Darwell, Pretty Darwell, has been appointed by Governor Murphy before he left office to the Asian American Pacific Islanders Commission. Pretty, if you could just explain to the public what this commission does and how you were chosen.
So, thank you, Mayor. Asian American Pacific Islander Association is called API, and API of New Jersey was formed by Governor Murphy in 2021. It it makes the policies for economic, social growth, and also for cultural awareness through education within all the communities and across Jersey. So there are a lot of API within API New Jersey, let's say API Montclair, API Livingston, API Ridgewood. But the one that I have been appointed is API New Jersey, where there are almost 25 to 28 people appointed by the government. And it's a commissioner role, I hope, to go by it. And, it's a new role. I thank the governor's office for this. And thank you to the Assemblywoman Lisa Swain, who recommended me for this one.
Yes, this is a great honor for River Edge as well as for the state of New Jersey, for you and your family. And so if you would, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Priti Dhariwal.
There.
I, Priti Dhariwal,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I would support
the Constitution of the United States
this Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the state of New Jersey,
of the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I would bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the government established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Asian American Pacific Islander Commission,
Asian American Pacific Islander Commission,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Sure. Okay. Sure. Ashley. Please get the ceiling back. Okay, congratulations again. Okay, we have annual insurance presentation. Ezio, come on up. would you please introduce yourself, your partners, and we getting these folders, and explain to the public what you're doing, what your presentation, why we have it a yearly, and what you hope to achieve.
Thank you.
Good evening.
You need, that mic is not on, you need to turn it back on. Press the button, hold for 5 seconds. And you might want to pick it up.
Good evening.
Give it to the clerk, she'll do it for you.
Here we go. Good evening. Okay.
Good.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the governing body, counselor, administrator, and clerk. My name is Ezio Altamurum from the GEM Otterstedt Insurance Agency. Matt is one of my assistants that works with us. I'm here just to do an annual insurance review, especially for the new members of the governing body, just to bring you up to date of how our property and casualty insurance works through the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. Matt handed out a packet to you. I'm going to briefly go through that in 5 minutes. I promise you I won't be longer than that. If you have any questions, my card is in there. If you take that home and you take a look at it, you have a question, feel free to give me a call. I'm always available for you. I interact and work a lot with Lizette and your clerk and your safety committee. I see Joe from Recreation here. We have our meetings, and I'll go through that real quick. And if you have any questions, please stop me. Okay, if you look at the right side of the packet and just take that out. So the first page is just an introduction of our agency. It's basically what we do. It's just a synopsis of that we work with you, with your borough attorney, with your administrator, your clerk, your department heads, some of the things that we do through our safety and loss control objectives through the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. Page 2, if you flip the page, is basically some of the public entities that we insure. Our agency insures over 35 public entities in the state of New Jersey. That's just a short list of some of the agencies that we insure. We have some housing authorities, school boards, the county of Bergen, throughout our 5 offices. If you go to page 3, this is basically the resumes of myself and Matt. We're your risk management team. We're the people who work with your department heads, and we are the go-betweens. We place your insurance. We make sure the borough is protected properly with the proper limits. We attend the monthly meetings. Lizette is actually one of our fund commissioners in the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. If you go to page 5, this is again, we are members. There's 38 members in the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. We meet monthly up at Westwoods Borough Hall. This is the 2026 Plan of Risk Management, which is basically a highlight of the coverages that are provided through the Joint Insurance Fund. If you go to page 6, these are some of the coverages under section 1. It says, so we cover worker compensation, work-related injuries, liability, public officials' employment practices, volunteer directors and officers, crime, non-owned aircraft, environmental impairment, cyber, property and equipment, and emergency service, volunteer automobile physical damage, and terrorism is included under the policy. So as you look at the paragraph below, which is limits of insurance, we use the term MEL. The MEL stands for the Municipal Excess Liability Joint Insurance Fund. That is the umbrella arm over 19 joint insurance funds in the state of New Jersey. We're the Bergen Municipal JIF, south of Route 4 is the South Bergen JIF, and then throughout the state, the MEL covers over 600 public entities, including counties, some housing development, and municipalities. So if you go through and go to page 8, and I'll just show you some of the optional coverages. So on the top, number 3, it says optional excess liability. That would be commonly what you would think of as an umbrella. If you have personal auto insurance and home, you may have a personal umbrella. This is a business umbrella. So for River Edge, you have the maximum limit offered through the Joint Insurance Fund. You have a total of $30 million, and that's the bold underline on the bottom. There are optional limits starting at $5 million. We have a total of $30 million of optional excess liability, which goes upon the general liability, the auto liability, and the worker comp employer liability. Number 4, public officials and employment practices. That starts with a basic limit of $2 million. We have a very preferred status because River Edge has excellent claims experience in that line of coverage. We really have no claims, so we have the deductible and the co-insurance as listed there. And then under number 5, we purchased you many years ago, since being your risk manager in 2016, we purchased you the highest limit offered. So you have a total of $10 million of public officials and employment practices liability. If you turn the page to page 9, we have directors and officers liability for your ambulance corps and your River Edge Fire Department. That's wrongful acts and breach of duty if you get sued for certain exposures to risk under as volunteers. Under the crime coverage, this is an upgrade this year, and in a minute, I'm going to show you some of the things that the MEL, Municipal Excess Liability, has done on the 2026 renewal. But we used to have $2 million of crime coverage. We have now $5 million, including your statutory positions. Right? Go to page 10. We have environmental impairment liability. We have cyber, which covers basically data breach, data recovery, ransomware. You notice the limits are not listed there because of really privacy issues, but obviously I know the limits and Lizette knows the limits. The limits are in the millions of dollars, and that's to protect the borough as well. And you have the preferred status because Lizette had filed a lot of the paperwork. So if you ever had a cyber claim, you have a very preferred status with your deductible and your co-insurance under the cyber coverage. We have property and equipment, so all your buildings, your vehicles, your mobile equipment, that police trailers, et cetera, snow blowers, are all covered under the property limit. They were able to negotiate higher limits, especially in flood-prone zones under the MEL, and I'll show you that again in a minute. A change this year, the deductible actually was raised for the first time in many, many years to $5,000. If you have a claim against a building, the auto physical damage remains at $2,500. If you go to page 11, this is very specific to certain GIFs, the Bergen GIF. We have emergency service volunteer automobile physical damage. So if one of your emergency responders are responding to an emergency and they have an accident with their vehicle, the GIF will cover up to $2,500 towards their deductible. If they have no physical damage collision coverage, they'll give them up to $2,500 towards their vehicle. That's an added coverage that the Joint Insurance Fund offers. If you go to page 12, these are additional coverages that we write. So I'll just briefly go through them. We write you an accident policy with a $500,000 limit for your recreation department, as listed here, your participants and coaches. We have your statutory positions in your fidelity bond. So in 2026, we had approval for Sean Kokarski, your library treasurer, Christopher Battaglia, your treasurer, CFO, and Deborah Matty, your tax collector. So they are statutorily protected under the crime and bond coverage. We have an accident and sickness policy. Oh, and by the way, that's the crime coverage that went up from $2 million to $5 million. Because there were a lot of towns that the auditor said you needed higher limits. In smaller boroughs, $2 million was adequate, but now they were able to purchase up to $5 million. We have an accident policy through VFIS for your volunteer firemen and ambulance corps. That's if they lose their life. There's like a life insurance policy while they're responding on behalf of the borough. So that's an addition to workers' comp. If you go to page 13, we have an accident policy for your volunteer committee with a $500,000 limit. We have an accident policy for your summer rec program for a $500,000 limit. And we have your River Edge Volunteer Police Reserve with a death benefit and a weekly payout if they're injured during the course of their work there as a volunteer. We have quasi-entities coverage. This is providing $5 million of liability for over the years. River Edge has applied for and been granted coverage for your Friends of the Library, your Alliance Against Alcohol, your Senior Citizens, your Central Athletic Council, and most recently your River Edge Swim Club. So basically you're covering their liability under your policy up to $5 million. And then we purchased for you, and you'll see it on page 14, flood insurance. So if you have a building and you have two that lie in a high hazard flood zone, we buy you the deductible, which is a $500,000. The GIF attaches at $500,000 building and content. So we have the responsibility to purchase you a flood policy through FEMA or a write your own program. And every year we run those flood zones to make sure nothing's changed. When you turn the page to page 14, we have the DPW building and the firehouse at Ackerson Street covered under a flood policy with those limits listed. Okay. If you turn the page to page 15, this is just the review of present coverages and trends is what I was alluding to a moment ago. They were very successful, the MEL and their underwriting team down in Camden with the Joint Insurance Fund with the 19 GIFs to purchase more insurance this year and get a more reasonable rate. We have been in a hard market a few years ago. we all know what auto and homeowners is doing, and that hasn't changed. But on the commercial side, they were able to go out to reinsure a lot of our policies and get better terms and conditions. So I just highlighted under property liability, some of the issues that they face and what the increases or decreases were. They were actually able to get a decrease in cyber, a slight increase in liability and property, and buy some higher limits. So that was a very favorable renewal for 2026 for all 600 members of the MEL system. If you turn the page to page 16, this are just some of the things I put in there under risk management, a work in progress. The first bullet point is on the left side. What I did is I gave everybody a 3-year synopsis of property and casualty claims. I'm not going to go through them, but you'll see they're from 2025, 2024, and 2023. These are the claims, the number of claims you've had, the amounts paid on these claims, and if there's any subrogation or recovery. This document, we do this every quarter when we have our safety committee meetings with your safety committee. We provide the updated information and we leave packets for the mayor and council. So for the new members of the council, as you see, Lizette will have, and Ann will have extra copies of a packet that looks like this from our quarterly safety meeting, which the next one will be in March. So I just wanted to give the governing body an idea of your claims trends, and your claims are very favorable. The Borough of River Edge is a very safe community and really don't have a lot of claims in relations to a lot of the exposures to risk that we have in public works, police, fire, a lot of exposure to risk. It's a 24/7 business. Government is a very hazardous business. The second bullet point is the second item on the left side. That's just the way, that's the training system, MSI Live and MSI Now. These are the logins. River Edge had one of the highest participations in 2025, and I applaud Lizette and her team. You had over 700 people trained in the MSI, the MEL Safety Institute, live and online programs. So the safety training is excellent, and that's really a testament to the governing body and to your administrative team. And the last thing I have on the left side, and we put this in every first quarter safety committee meeting, these are documents that I put together and update over the years. These are just recommended insurance coverages. So when I'm working with Lizette or your borough attorney on contractual issues with outside vendors, when I send my professional certificate of insurance in and my whole harmless, what I give you is what I expect from vendors. These are just guidelines that I put together once a year and I give out at the first quarter safety committee meeting. And that's pretty much page 16. And then basically on page 17, just to recap in 2024, because we haven't finished 2025 yet, in the safety incentive program, which exists for the Bergen County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, the borough received a check for $750 for their Silver Safety Award, which is excellent. And the Borough of River Edge, because of your police accreditation, has a $5,350 credit towards being accredited in the police department, which is applied in 2026. And again, just a really big thank yous for working with Lizette and with Ann, with all your department heads, Jason, with your safety committee. It's excellent. They do a great job, and River Edge is a safe community. So thanks to the governing body for all your leadership and everything you do. Do you have any questions for me?
Council, any questions or comments?
Yeah. No, there has been improvements. The crime coverage went from 2 million to 5. The deductible went up a little bit on property claims, as I explained, to 5,000 from 2,500, but not on vehicles. And cyber steady, they got an excellent renewal on that. So all of that renewal information, Council President, translates back to the savings for the borough and for all its members. This is the largest JIF in the state of New Jersey, and I believe the largest JIF in the United States. Originated right here in Bergen County in 1985.
Nice.
So this was the first JIF, and it runs like a clock. We're involved in many JIFs, and second to none, the Bergen JIF.
I agree. Anything else? Anyone else?
I do.
Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Enzio, for that presentation. On the list of claims, the chart, am I right? Am I reading this right that in River Edge in 2025, there were a total of 21 claims?
Correct, for all property and casualty lines. Yep.
Okay. And then there are two columns, one that says total paid and then total incurred, which look like big differences between those numbers. Can you explain the difference?
Yes. So total paid would be what was paid to date, when these were printed, so we just printed these last week. And then the reserve, so if you go from left to right, Councilman,
Mhm.
open reserve means the claim is still open and that's what they anticipate on being paid. Net paid to date would be what they've paid to date. Net incurred would be what was incurred to date, and then the total paid would be what they totally paid to date. But then when you go all the way over to the recovery column, that would be if we had subrogation against a third party. For example, someone who hits our police vehicle, we would pay the claim less the deductible, and then our claims administrative people will subrogate or file a claim against their insurance and get our money plus our deductible back. So the total incurred is all the columns combined. And the reserve is really, a lot of claims, especially worker comp, take a long time to mature, so that the reserve column can stay open for sometimes years.
Okay. And is there a I don't need us to go through this now, but I'm just wondering if you could point me to, is there a breakdown of where these 21 claims arose from
Yes.
in terms of categories?
Yes, so if you look to the left, the first loss would be auto losses.
Oh, I
Two
see.
claims. So third-party property damage, that means we hit somebody else or another vehicle. Then there's general liability. Those are tort claim notices that are filed with Ann. People come in Borough Hall and say, I tripped on the sidewalk, and we think it's your responsibility. Fortunately, in New Jersey, we have Title 59 statutory protections where 95% of those claims, and the attorney can speak to that, we get released from, because there's a lot of immunities that protect public entities. Otherwise, we'd be responsible for everything. So when people come in, they file a tort claim notice, that's what that would be. And if we're found negligent, there was prior constructive notice, we should have trimmed the tree and we were notified 5 different times, for example, and we didn't do it, and the branch hit somebody, then we may be responsible on the negligent side, but typically we get out of those claims. And then going down, property, that's first party collision, there's 3 claims. Property damage would be damage to our property, 3 claims. And then on the next page is worker comp.
Mhm. Okay. So in 2025, there's been no claims against agencies or departments. Is that
That's for
correct?
public officials and employment practices. That's not in this.
Oh, that's not
Restricted
reflected
property
here.
and Casualty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would-
For privacy issues, we don't share that unless somebody needs something specific.
Okay, even numbers of claims? That's not true.
I can't even remember the last time you had a public officials or employment practices. That's why we have the
Okay.
preferred status of your deductible and co-insurance.
Okay, so as far as,
Excellent.
so what you're saying is there are no claims pending
Not
at this
that I can
time?
remember, no.
Okay.
No, if they are, there would be old claims that sometimes take years to adjudicate.
Okay. That's all I have. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just gotta ask,
Go ahead.
non-owned aircraft liability?
You would be surprised. So
Yeah.
we don't cover aircraft, and we have very strict requirements for drones to cover for insurance. So if you decide to get a drone, there's some protocols we have to follow. Non-owned aircraft would be if we're borrowing or we're getting on a helicopter or a non-owned aircraft, and we are pulled into liability because we had something to do with maybe renting it. That's what that is. It's a given coverage. I've never seen a claim in my 30 years.
Yeah, we need that. We need that.
It's part of the policy.
I mean,
You have no choice to have it, part
Oh.
of the package policy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're not paying
Bundle-
extra.
bundle
No,
that.
it's just all part of the,
All right, it's good to know.
Yeah.
so in case the
Oh my
borough
God.
attorney invites us onto his private jet, that's a non-owned
Hey,
aircraft.
you know,
We're friends a long time, so.
I wish.
thank you, Ezra.
Anyone else? Well, Ezio, you and Matt, thank you for coming. We
My
look
pleasure,
forward to
Mayor.
seeing you next year.
Yes, anytime, always available, and we'll see you folks soon enough, and we'll be back in March or sooner
Okay.
for a safety committee meeting. So thank you. Thank
Cool.
you, everyone.
Cool.
Thank you.
You leave that mic on. Lizette, our next item is environmental protection, green team styrofoam collections. Who will be speaking to them?
Yes, I believe they're online. Patty Spencer.
Oh, hi, Patty.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you have to state your name, your address, and your role.
You got it. So Patty Omberg, 659 Fifth Ave, River Edge. I am the co-chair for the River Edge Environmental Protection Commission.
Welcome, Patty. You
Thank
have a
you.
presentation, right?
Yes, so thank you for your
Proceed.
time. I appreciate it. So the Environmental Protection Commission and Green Team would like to start a consistent collection of what's called expanded polystyrene. We refer to it as EPS for short. or you would know it as styrofoam. We hosted a collection on December 28th and had a record number of residents come out. We filled 5 carloads of EPS. All the residents that came expressed appreciation for us having the collection. Many said they had been holding on to their styrofoam for a while and were glad to see that we were collecting it again. So there's definitely a huge interest for our River Edge residents for this program. So basically, as we know, styrofoam, it's lightweight, it's versatile. It's used for a lot of different things, packaging, you see it for TVs, all your kitchen cabinets come with it. It's convenient and inexpensive, but it's not biodegradable and can take over 500 years to decompose. So as a result, it poses quite a significant environmental threat to our ecosystems, to our wildlife, and to our human health. It's lightweight relative to volume, which means it takes up a lot of space in our garbage trucks and in our landfills. It also can be easily carried away by wind. It litters streets and ends up polluting our water. But it is recyclable. So recycling it can prevent long-term damage to the environment, and it offers an eco-friendly solution, reducing waste and repurposing this for new applications. So what we're hoping the reasons to recycle it is to reduce landfill space, reduces the need for new resources by giving it a new, basically a second life, keeps harmful chemicals from leaching into the environment, keeps it out of our waterways, our oceans, it prevents it from breaking down into microplastics. And it also creates a sustainable and circular economy rather than contributing to long-term waste and plastic pollution. What products can be made from recycling this? Picture and mirror frames, office supplies like rulers and pens, building insulation boards, decorative molding, and baseboards. What we are proposing, Ridgewood, the Township of Ridgewood, has an EPS densifier. And currently there are 8 Bergen County towns that are participating in a shared service agreement with Ridgewood, and they have 3 towns coming on board soon. We're proposing to join a shared service agreement with Ridgewood to process the EPS, the styrofoam. The River Edge Environmental Protection Commission, along with the River Edge Green Team, would be solely responsible for this program. We are not looking for any additional help from the township. We will collect the styrofoam. We will break it down. We will put it into plastic bags, which are 96 gallons, and then transport it to be densified. The cost for the shared service is they charge $5 per bag from Ridgewood. We thought we would do 3 collections for the year, have about an estimate of, I think on the high side, 20 bags per collection. So that would be 60 bags for the year, which would be $300. Our other expense would be to rent a truck to bring the EPS to Ridgewood. We need a truck or van because, believe it or not, only 2 of these bags fit into a car. I have a Tesla, only 2 fit in. My husband has a Traverse, you can squeeze 3. So it would take 10 trips to Ridgewood to bring all the collected bags. That's why we would need to rent a truck. The cost for the rental truck, I priced it out from Home Depot, Lowe's, and U-Haul, roughly between $40 and $75 per event, basically. So the total annual cost would not exceed $500. We feel that this is a great service for our residents who love these collections and really want to continue to do the right thing environmentally for themselves and for the town. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Apatow.
Questions?
We're first going to go to Ms. Apatow. If
Sure.
if the council is interested in authorizing this, would this be a line item in the budget? I assume it would be.
It would be, however, the Environmental Commission and the Green Team have lines on the administration budget,
Mhm.
and current funding can absorb these costs, so you're not adding anything to the budget.
Okay. And is there a possibility of a vehicle being, instead of rented, a vehicle from DPW or from DPW that could carry these goods to the compressor?
No, this was reviewed with Jason Melito, our DPW superintendent, and Lisa Hessman, our certified recycling professional, and they do not have any spare vehicles or manpower for this.
Okay. I asked them because those are the two most obvious questions. Council, questions, comments?
In terms of vehicle, could we use the senior bus possibly to transport?
The senior buses run 5 days a week.
Got it. Okay.
And our current bus is out of service and we're obtaining a loaner from the county until the new bus comes in.
Okay. Just a thought. That is.
Yeah, no, it's a good thought.
Oh,
Yes. Go ahead.
I just want to thank Patty. I think it's awesome. I'm constantly reading now in the news about microplastics, and styrofoam is a major offender. And there's
Yes.
a real health link between microplastics, scary stuff, strokes, heart attacks, dementia, and we all have it in our bodies. And we don't need more of it. So thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Sure.
the state, I believe, has just passed some pretty unique and like strong PFAS, they call them, laws. The skip the stuff is another good one to prevent some of these microplastics to getting into our bodies, our waterways, our soil.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, question. First of all,
Sure.
thank you for the presentation.
Sure.
In terms of getting the word out to
Yep.
the community, how has that been done in the past? How do you plan to do it in the future? And is there a cost to that?
There is no cost. So we utilize our Facebook page. We also try to put things right up to from our Facebook page. So this is River Edge. I have the EPC email address, and I maintain that. I have about 200 email addresses. So I send those out to let them know what's going on. It's really a word of mouth. Like I said, this past one, we were even surprised how much EPS we got for that one. So people that save it know, it's just to get it to the other people. Because again, if you drive around town, you will see some at the curb. And as soon as you break that EPS, it's all over the.
Right.
She froze.
Rose up.
We packaged the last set, and we shop vac the garage for about an hour.
And when is the next collection planned?
We don't have a date because I was hoping to do it. It's hard to collect it. Those 10 bags took up a 1-car garage. So we prefer to have the cart in the garage, not the styrofoam.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you, Patty. And I had the similar question like Bruce, but what about educating the school? And
That's yep. That's a great, like I said, and I try to use the word EPS, expanded polystyrene, because styrofoam is the is like a Kleenex, right? It's the brand, it's not the actual product. We can try to get to the schools. Any suggestions would be welcome.
Okay. Anything else?
that's
I
it.
do have.
Thank you.
Patty, thanks. Like always, a great presentation. On the schools, there's always a possibility to talk to the PTO and the PTAs. They're always want somehow to get connected to the community. I am more than happy to put you in touch with them if that is actually something you want. But I can both at least at the elementary schools in town. Okay.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
No problem. And the second thing is, well, two extra things is given the shared services agreement, which is already self-funded, given what Ms. Aportela explained, is 3 collections enough? Should we think that maybe because we have that shared services agreement, maybe 3 is not enough, and maybe consider a 4th one after, I don't know, Christmas time and things like that?
So I think 3 would be enough. What my thought was like an April, a September, and then the end of December one, because it's after the holidays and people will, from all the toy stuff they get. So I do think 3 is we're only paying per bag. So I think, again, for costs for renting equipment, renting a vehicle to transport it, I think 3 would do. I really do.
And the last thing is maybe there's an opportunity to work with DPW, and I don't mean to speak by Superintendent Melito, but I know people hold on to these materials for months until there is next one. And maybe there is an opportunity to see if there is a place within the yard where people can actually leave it until the next collection, so people don't throw it out.
Yeah.
Because people get desperate, my garage gets filled, I'm gonna throw it out.
Yeah.
So
It is hard. I know Oradell has a shed, and it's a tough thing to manage, I have to say.
All right,
People,
I'm willing to talk to him and see if we can
Yeah.
find a way to see if the yard can sustain
right,
having
yeah.
in between the collections. I'm
Yep.
not making
One
any
of the-
promises, but I can talk to him.
One of the biggest things with the EPS is it can't get wet. So you
Yeah.
can't like leave it outside,
Yeah.
that's people, as we see, will, if it fills up the box, people will leave it outside and then it's basically garbage.
But it's worth at least asking.
Yeah, but we don't mind doing it, but volunteer. We've done it a few times and we've brought it to Ridgefield Park, but that kind of doesn't work out anymore. So this we feel is the best option to at least provide that service to the residents.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Patty, just one thing, if I'm not
Sure.
mistaken, when we're talking about this item, it has to be the hard one, not the soft one, correct?
So it has to be the clear, white. We don't take no peanuts, no food trays, no egg cartons,
No soft
Um,
styrofoam.
and no soft. That stuff that bends without popping is not it. That's
I just wanna
sadly
make sure that-
garbage.
Because that was something I only found out recently, and
Yeah.
I think it'd be good as a public service to anybody who might be
Yep.
watching this later.
I have Ridgewood has two great flyers that I will pass along to you, and one of them kind of states the things you can and can't bring.
Okay. All right. So if there are no further questions, we're going to thank Patty. Patty, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
So I will talk to Sean Hamlin from Ridgewood. So I
Uh-huh.
will reach out to him and ask him to
Oh.
provide you with the shared service agreement.
And then it
There's
would come
also-
to the council and the council would vote it
Yeah.
down. I assume from the language that I'm hearing from the council that they're going to vote it up. We just need the shared service. It has to
Yeah.
go through through our borough attorney and our BA. And so the sooner you get it to us, the sooner it can get on the agenda. But I would not expect it to be on the agenda until 2 meetings from now.
That's fine. Yeah, I know you're getting into budget season.
No, it just has to
Lucky
go through proper screening and discussion. If
Sure.
we can get it on the next agenda, we'll put it on, but probably two meetings from now.
Perfect. Great. I appreciate your time.
Sorry, just a quick question, Patty.
Sure.
Are there other towns going to be joining the shared services besides you with River Edge? Do you know?
So each town does it individually. Oradell, it has one, Waldwick, Glenrock, Fairlawn, I think Franklin Lakes. Yeah, there's 8 towns with 3 coming on, but each town has to have their own shared service agreement.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
All right. Our next is KGB update. Mr. Costa, welcome. As always, you have to introduce yourself and your role
Absolutely.
and your associates. And you can pull the chair up. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Good evening. Robert Costa, COSTA, Township Engineer, Borough Engineer in the Borough of River Edge. Thank you. First thing before I get started, I just want to
Do you want to just quickly introduce your associate?
certainly apologize to this body, to the town, based on the letter that I received yesterday morning when I walked in my office. I certainly would never put this town at risk. I certainly would never put anybody on this board at risk, the public, embarrass anybody or do any of the above. Now, we met in the field, rec director, myself, contractor Brandon Gallen, staff, Jason, Greg, and just for the record, 38 years in this community, more actually, born and bred in this community, still lives here. The last thing we want to do is make anybody look bad. Are we somewhat delayed? Yes. May 1st, it will be sooner than May 1st. It all depends on one thing, the weather. If the weather, and I've called a couple other people, not about the weather, but in the past, March 20th should be when they will be able to get sod, March 20th. The sod, if that happens, will take roughly maximum of 3 days to put down because you're not putting down one by one sections. They're rolls. So let's say 3 days at worst case, 2 days probably realistic. The field right now, everything is prepped for the infield. The turf will be in the first week in February. As far as the outfield, everything is graded. At grade, there's a small section on the, as you're looking at the field, looking south, heading towards the water. On the right-hand side, we went over with Jason DPW when we were down there for the meeting. There's some slightly regrading there, not going to delay the project whatsoever. There's some concrete work, minimal, where the batting cages to the right. But I want to just say what happened with this project. And I know we talked about public service. I just want to hand out, I think everybody got all of our Dropbox, because in the letter it said that my staff, that we weren't there. Certainly we're there. Certainly there's photos. Certainly we're on top of stuff. There's memos back and forth. But one big thing, if I may, Mayor, if I
Sure,
can hand
go
it
ahead.
out.
You can skip me. You can skip me.
Thank you.
Do you have an extra?
Yes.
For Councilwoman Thanks.
Okay. What? Sure. Well, when we're done, I'll just.
So when we designed the project originally, we sent everything to public service, to Veolia, to make sure that there's nothing there. April, letter comes back. We received it May 6th in my office. And if you look at it, it went to Greg to my left. There are no mainline underground electrical facilities in your project area. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist in May. September, we received it in October. Wait a minute. There are no underground main line. However, there's a transmission pipe type cable. Sounds innocuous. It's a 260 kV oil line, which I know, I'm not sure if everybody on the council knows there is one running down into Kamak Road that PSE&G fixed many years ago.
Would you explain what a KV is?
It's coming out of the substation in New Milford. It actually runs along this part. Unbeknownst to me, there's actually an easement that was filed. We didn't have it through our searches. The town didn't know about it. And quite frankly, PSE&G didn't know about it at first glance and said, we have nothing there. Second glance, we have something there. What's amazing is when they did which I didn't work on, the Musco lighting, it's amazing they didn't hit it. But what that created, we needed to now move backstops. We needed to move everything out of this easement and away from their pipe, which now we know exactly where it is. And that's what we did immediately. Went back to our office, rearranged everything and put it back in the field, and that's what's down there today. So that created a little bit of a delay.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm any excuses, because we know we need to get the fields open. But it's not as dire as this, certainly as this letter that was put to me. It's not that dire. We are on top of it. We are there. It's not just this guy sitting in the field looking and watching what Gallon's doing. We're also doing the other stuff. We're doing the layout work, the benchmarks, the as-builts to make sure that the turf company has the exact dimensions, which they do. That's coming in on February 1st. That'll be installed in March. He'll be back on site, obviously, weather permitting. Everything else will be done with the exception of the sod. If they cut the sod on the 20th of March, my opinion, I don't think you should play on it April 1st, but if you really want to, we can.
Okay.
It will not extend to May 1st.
Oh.
That, in my opinion, would be the worst possible case, that we have snow on the ground in the end of March.
Okay, Rob, do you have more to your presentation or you want?
That's basically it. And as far as the contract, we pulled the numbers. I talked to Lisette yesterday. Our total was 160 some odd thousand. To date with everything, doing the plans, the inspection, the management, rebidding it, because the first bid was thrown out. We rebid it again. I think we billed to date $70,000. We don't do it as a lump sum. We don't say if we're there for 10 minutes, 10 hours or whatever, this is what the borough owes. And I don't think it makes sense, it never has in the past, that we're gonna just sit on a job with nothing going on and build a borough.
Okay,
It's not what we do. It's not how we operate. Other engineers, I don't want to talk about anybody, they do. We do not.
okay.
We do not.
Um,
Our contract's not even gonna get close to that number. And I saw there was something else in there that you want myself or my staff there for the rest of this job, demanding it not to get paid. If that is necessary, I will do that.
anything else before I switch you to the council?
That's basically it.
Any member of council wish to ask a question, make a comment?
I do. There's no above ground markings for that transmission line.
No.
Do you think there should be?
Right now, we know
Are you guys gonna-
exactly, we as built it.
So you have it on plans, but should it be marked?
Well, everybody's gonna have it, not everybody, obviously, because it's critical.
Should it be
infrastructure.
marked in the field?
It's critical infrastructure, so I'm not sure if that should be or should not be.
Something to
And
think
it's
about.
not that deep. And
If you
quite
put-
frankly, it's amazing that someone did not get hurt.
If you put the turf down March 20th, is there a potential for a freeze?
That's why we couldn't put it down. in
Yeah, I'm
Japan.
just wondering, I mean,
If they cut,
is that appropriate timing or is there a risk with that timing?
it shouldn't be a risk because again, if they cut it, it should be tempered to our climate, right? You're not gonna cut sod from Florida and bring it here. However, I would go down to Florida if we had to do it. I would make that, that
Sacrifice.
sacrifice. Beautiful. But no, all kidding around, tongue in cheek. If they cut it, it will, as long as the ground here is not frozen.
Right. Okay.
That's the key. The key otherwise also, we talked about it. You should go through at least one growth cycle. But again, if you're not playing football, how ripped up is it gonna get? I don't know if we're playing soccer on the 1st or the 15th. I think we're talking about baseball. In the outfield, I don't think there should be that much activity. One other thing I want to put on the record. One thing I strongly disagree with, and not that I have a Cy Young award and I was a pitcher, but I've spoken to a couple of people. Making the mound out of clay, and I understand why, but I'm putting it on the record. I'm friendly with a gentleman at Crunch Gym, Tony. He's one of the coaches at Fordham University.
Yeah.
And he actually does some stuff. He uses some of the facilities in town. Do not do it, Rob. It's going to be a disaster for you in the future. The problem is, I understand budgeting. It should be turf. It's not. It's clay. And that clay will go all over the place. And you're gonna be sweeping it out. Jason DPW says, no problem. My personal opinion, I think it's a problem. He said, don't do it. Not on me. If the clay is all over, running all over the place, mayor, council, please don't blame me.
Okay.
All right?
Rob, I just don't, is it transmission pipe type cable is an electrical line?
Yes.
And it's enclosed in metal or plastic or something?
It's in metal and inside of it to cool it, it's oil cooled. There's oil running in the pipe.
Dielectric fluid carries the pipe.
Oh,
If many years ago, they did some work at the south end of town on Pinnacle. I don't know if anybody was here during that. I can't think of his name. He was the public relations for PSCNG, Dave Hollenbeck. So we had a meeting here and he looks at me and he goes, I go, what, is there any environmental hazards? Rob, absolutely not. He says, this is like salad dressing. Oh, so fast forward, something happened during their construction and the oil leaked all over Kinderkamak Road. So then when I saw Dave again, I said, what's interesting, Dave? I was in the shop right in New Milford and a bottle of Wishbone fell off the shelf. I said, but what I didn't see were a truck outside and people in Tyvek suits sweeping it up inside the shop right. I go, but I did see it on Kinderkamak Road. So it's a serious piece of infrastructure.
They leak all the time.
and they leak all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not something we have any authority over. We're simply informed.
They have an easement that they produce to us. They have an easement, I think it was. Yeah, Danette, but it was what year, 60? Somewhere in 74, the mayor,
And that's now on record with the clerk's office?
we just got it. Nobody had it.
Oh, okay.
It didn't come up in our searches and they produced it and it appears to be executed and the pipe is there.
Okay. Yeah, no, my only concern is that we make sure because we've had this problem before with the stairs and stuff like that. So if you can just make sure the clerk's office gets a copy of it. So it's now
You
part of.
should have it.
Oh, okay.
I
Then-
shared it.
And we have it it's on a plan. DPW has it. It's gonna be digital. It's here. If Rob Costa's gone, we're gone. People should know it's there.
Okay,
Because literally, it wasn't marked out. And according to that letter, we didn't know it existed. And somebody seriously could have got hurt.
Can I have a question?
sure. Council President.
Thank Rob. Quick question. The clerical error aside, because that speaks about Bayonne, not River Edge.
Right.
So between April and September, there was no way of actually noticing that pipe type cable was there by your team, by any other survey done, nothing.
No one, I personally didn't know it was there. It didn't come up, from my understanding, according to Jason, when they did the lights. I mean, they drilled foundations pretty deep.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking because there's been light there for a long time.
Not
So,
on the plan.
okay.
I didn't do those plans. I wasn't involved in that project. What I'm saying is when they did that, they redid those lights. Those foundations are deep. They're deep foundation.
Yeah, because it was sand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and the second thing is so for everybody's understanding, from my understanding, sod has not been installed at all.
No.
There was nothing done in November. I think I heard something was installed in November.
We were gonna put it in. Yeah, you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good evening, Mayor, councilmen. I just want to put on the record on that regarding that. Yes, because I'm the one who sent the email regarding November 21, which referenced back into the letter regarding saying that within 2 weeks, weather permitted, we were going to put sod. So just to show you a picture of what we were done, I know it's small. I wish I could have,
I'm not that blind, yes. I can't see.
Okay, so but you can see that the sub base is completed, the softball field is completed, the the sub base for the turf of the baseball field is completed, all the
Mhm.
concrete work. So when I send that email and we had a conversation with the contractor says, if weather's conditions still good, that's November 21st. If the weather condition is good, then we can put the sod down. 5 days later, we go to the field
Frozen.
and the ground is frozen. So it was a risk now to either make the decision as to put down almost $30,000. No, I'm sorry. $130,000 worth of sod and just, and leave it there and then burn, having the risk that later on you're going to have to come in the spring, remove all that and do it again, which is going to even prolongate longer now the opening of the field. So then by that time, we have Thanksgiving, then we came in December 1st, the first week, and then, we say, no, we cannot take a risk on that. So, but just to clarify on that, that's what it comes down.
So the answer is yes.
No, the answer is that there is no sod right now.
Okay, but was it installed or not?
No, it was never installed.
Okay.
Right now, we could get sod today.
Oh,
It could be rolled down tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm asking the question if it was installed in November, because that's $130,000 that we are entering the budget season and I needed to know. Okay.
Plus,
Thank
this job is coming in at budget or under budget, correct? Even with some of the extra, and there were modifications. I don't want to bore you, but there was a lot of modifications. The set certainly was involved. Joe was involved. Stuff got bigger.
Mhm.
Curbs went in along the parking lot. The dugouts got larger. There was some field
Yeah.
modifications that took place, but again, we are definitely within budget.
Okay. All right, so there has not been an expenditure of $130,000 on sod, and then we're looking into that for March. That's what we're looking at, weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
If they can cut on March 20th, if they do, I will make sure that Brandon orders sod. Like I said, if it's cut on the 20th, he needs 2 to 3 days to install the sod. Once that's down, the irrigation system is there. It's not operational. It's not energized, obviously, because of the cold weather, but it's physically there.
No, thank you for that. Again, my question were more from a cost and budget perspective, if we already have to spend the money and have to look for more money to do the same work.
1,000%.
I trust you as the professional when to do that. My question again was just about the cost of the sod. Thank you.
The good news is this field will be open for May 1st, no question. So if any high schooler is going to make a college team, we'll make sure it gets done. And the pickleball, as far as pickleball, we might as well stay there. That also couldn't have been done as far as the painting because we got delayed. Again, somebody donated, I believe, the nets. But in order to put the nets in, you need the sleeves. We couldn't get the sleeves until the council approved it. That delayed the paving. You can't paint the next day after you put the paving because the oils have to come out of the asphalt. Otherwise, what you painted will be gone the next day. So that once it warms up, that surface will be cleaned and that will be ready to run. Again, weather permitting.
Right.
So if we get some warm weather, which again, we're supposed to get X amount into the snow. We haven't had snow like this since I'm a child.
Yeah.
And
So maybe just to avoid misunderstandings, maybe there is a better way to communicate that, we foresee that we cannot put the sod because it's not going to be suitable, even if it's by 1 degree. I'm just making it out rough. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we're holding you to the May 1st. I don't want to go through this cycle again. If we know that it's not going to happen, then knowing that ahead of time, even if it is a gut reaction, you're the expert, you are the engineer, we trust you that March 1st may not be conducive for that.
I would say this, any person, any council, any person, if you want to call me 24/7. You have my cell phone. I live in this town. If you want me to meet you somewhere, I'm available. Anybody here would be available at a moment's notice.
But we know where to find you.
Well,
I'm just,
what do you mean by that?
so I hope you understand what I was coming from with that
Absolutely.
line of questions. Hey, thank you though. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jason.
Anyone else?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Costa. And on the same lines as Lisa, again, please excuse my engineering skills because I have none. But I just we received you've given us two papers. One is received May 6th. So between May 6th and October, because the first letter says that all facilities must be field verified before any work commences. So this means PSCG did not okay, so we couldn't do anything. Is that
No.
and PS
What they're saying is they don't have, if you have a private service, that they're not gonna mark that out. Their stuff, and basically they went on to say, obviously, if you see overhead wires, it's apparent, which there are overhead wires down there, they just did a lot of work down. But this is a serious piece of it, this isn't just an underground line like we have coming into this building. This is a transmission line, this is a serious piece of equipment.
and they did not know the first time when they came in. That's what it says.
Oh.
And no maps. It's KBG is not a small project, it's a big project. So PSCG, when you consulted as an engineer, they did not give anything.
It's not on, we didn't find any easements. We sent them, obviously, we do this to make sure that they look at their infrastructure if we have, on any job. Whether it's a road job, anything, but this is a serious piece of equipment. And for them not to know it's there, it's crazy.
But it happens all the time.
Just to put in perspective,
It's so much infrastructure and so many facilities, it's impossible for them to keep track of. This is normal stuff.
Isn't on don't they say dig before, I mean, before you dig, call us? So aren't
Yeah,
they supposed
it's a
to
contract.
let us?
The contract that calls 1-800 has to get it, they,
It's a law. It's a
Right.
law.
but it's not, it wasn't marked. Because I guess in their mind, there's nothing there. In actuality, there is something there.
There are thousands of utility strikes a year, thousands,
Yes.
thousands and thousands of utility strikes every year. Even with everything that, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I've been on that side of the table and I get it. And this kind of stuff happens all the time. This is normal stuff.
I'll leave you on this note. This is many years ago. I'm doing work for the county. And I'm in a car with the assistant director of parks, going to look at a boat because we're working on the county pathway project. This will take 2 seconds. Barcia Brothers Fence Company calls John Bialy, and he says, we're in New Milford Avenue because they have the waterworks. And they want to put a fence to protect the waterwork building because the county, United Water was so gracious to give the county it for $1. That was the Trojan horse that came through the front. And John goes, well, we hit some concrete. He's next to me right here. Just keep drilling and put it in the concrete. What they were drilling through was a 42-inch, I believe, water main that comes through there. And 2 things would have happened. One, the person, if he ultimately went through it, would have been cut in half, severed. Secondly, if you remember, Fletch Kramer lived on that corner to fix that pipe. But that's how things happen. Again, the councilman, he's in the
We have
construction
100
game.
utility strikes a
It's
year in my
nuts.
company. At least 100 a year. Yeah, I'm like,
And just to put in perspective, also, like just to put on the record, we did milling and paving and concrete work back in 2023 in the same area. PSG and Veolia have been there many times, marking that out, and they never mark it. They never identify that.
And just so I'm clear, Councilman Glass, you're saying, when you're saying,
You're on.
is it on?
No, you're on.
Sorry.
Look for the.
When
cadence.
you say that there's 100, your company has 100 strikes, there's thousands of them. You're saying after things have been called in and worked out already.
you
So
always follow-
it's not like they're,
Not only do we call them in and have the markouts by the utility company, we do private utilities. We have private utility professionals that all they do is locate underground utilities and come in and do a markout, and there's still strikes. And then we do what we call air knife soft digging, and there's still strikes.
Hmm.
It's
It's crazy.
and I mean, I've seen
And it's
projects,
scary.
where they do the surface mapping, with and they
Right.
still have,
Exactly,
they still hit things.
correct,
So
100%.
I'm not saying that, there's not exaggeration. I've been involved in projects where that's happened.
Honestly, Why it went there and why they took this route is beyond my imagination, but again, it's there. We know where it is now, and everybody in this borough, not everybody, but people in the borough now have mapping exactly where it is.
Councilman,
Thank you.
Councilman?
Thank you. Yeah, I had a few questions and then this whole conversation about the pipe generated a few more questions, so I apologize in advance. Something that Councilmember Glass said sort of caught my attention, which was, I think you said they leak all the time. And
Dielectric fluid pipelines.
yeah,
So this is transmission, not distribution. Go ahead.
okay, my real question is, can you just, number one, state on the record where exactly this pipe is located in respect to the project, how deep it is, and what would be the implications if there were a leak, if you know? In other words, would we know right away? Is it something that saturates the ground? Would there be a spout? And, you know, I'm trying to get at what the risks and the dangers are.
Yeah, I think before I put any of that on the record, this is probably what would be considered critical infrastructure. I think the best thing would be maybe to set up a meeting with PSE&G. And Councilman, I think you should be present because I don't think we should, so to speak, put it on the record.
Okay, I'll
I'm
trust
saying-
that,
Well, I'm
based on
I'm
your,
just thinking because it's critical infrastructure.
yeah,
And
okay,
maybe-
I understand.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
At the same time, we just need to know like
Well, my suggestion.
what the risks are.
is, again, maybe we could set up a meeting with PSE&G distribution, not gas, obviously, this is electric. And
That would be great.
And I think quiz them on certainly how it happened, why no one knew about it, and certainly
Yeah.
what's the implications if something does happen.
Yeah, that last part is really what I'm concerned about the most. In light of what Councilmember Glass said, that this happens all the time, which is crazy, but
It would have happened.
yeah,
It almost did.
yeah.
existing fence pole.
But now going forward, that's my concern.
Just, I'll leave you on this. There was a fence pole not put in under this project that was on top of it. So a couple of more inches. It's through.
Okay. It's good we had the insurance presentation earlier.
Mike?
Part of that meeting as well, right? I mean, the insurance should.
SEO and insurance should be part of that meeting because of the risk of actually potentially leaking again or not knowing where it was.
I
They
think
said,
he
would
certainly
you-
can be
would you-
invited.
Would you advise that or not?
If you're gonna have them, if you're gonna have the meeting with PSE&G, I would, because it's a matter of potential, what I'm hearing Mr. Costa say, it's a matter of safety and security. I would have your insurance person, I would probably have the police chief there as well. And part of the discussion, because the police department should know where it is. If it's something that could,
Probably fire.
right, fire department, fire chief.
Yeah. And not
yeah.
the,
Coordinator.
not,
Also,
Councilman
is,
Farchi.
I know.
and also, is it actually safe to have a high transmission line and have a turf and have kids play on it?
Well, like I said, they said to me it was like salad dressing. But again, I can't think of the year. It was a while ago. I don't know if, I guess you don't remember. It was on Kindermack Road at the south end of town. And they were there in Tyvek suits.
Oh, wait, I do remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's the same line.
So it's within the last 14, because I've been on council now 14, years, 15,
line.
this is my 15, yeah. Oh, it's the
So-
same line. Oh, wow.
so who will be setting up this meeting, if I may ask? Who's the best one?
Out to our government, there's liaison done it for to coordinate.
Terrific. Okay, thank you. I also have a couple other questions.
Yeah.
If I can just keep us moving forward. You mentioned the pickleball courts. Well, before I even get to that, the May 1st date, I would just ask for your, I think I know the answer to this, but just to hear it from you. Obviously, it's possible to snow in April. We've had snow in April. So if there's a blizzard or a heavy snow in April, that could conceivably push the May 1st date ahead. Is that reasonable to say?
If we get a window, here's the thing, if we get just a slight window and they're cutting sod, it goes down.
Right.
If it snows,
You can't put it down if it,
no,
but
well, obviously, the window.
if it snows afterwards,
If
then
the
it's
sun is down,
in.
yes.
Right.
Again, obviously, we're not gonna play baseball in the snow, but
Right. But the delay would be if you haven't put the sod down and it snows, then you have to wait till the ground basically dries up.
we could move the snow off of the field and you could put it down, as long as the ground isn't frozen.
Okay. So conceivably, the May 1st date may not hold, but that's what we're shooting
I
for.
can't see us going past that. My personal opinion, it's gonna be before that.
Okay. So now the pickleball courts, the sod issue doesn't obviously have anything to do with that. What is the timeline on having that?
As long as it's warm enough. And I
3
believe
days.
it's 45 degrees.
3 consecutive.
Like 2 or 3 consecutive days, then it can be
Coated and
coated.
painted.
Okay. And that's the last step as far as that's
That's
concerned.
ready to go. Get your
Okay.
racket, your orthopedic surgeon and.
Yeah.
Don't play pickleball.
I keep him along with me when I play. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had another question, but I don't think it's an engineering question. So I'll stop there. Thanks.
Okay, any other member of council, Councilwoman?
Thank
Council
you, Mayor.
President.
Thanks, Rob, for coming in and letting us know about why the delays happen. My question is about communicating the delays. Was the situation with the pipe, as well as the weather, everything that happened to cause the delays, were they communicated to the necessary individuals?
Obviously not, right? Because I don't think I would be here. We wouldn't be here tonight, and we will make absolutely sure. And again, if you want, we can come here. If we have any major projects, we can certainly take 10 minutes to come here face to face. And again, if anybody, any council, anyone has a question, has a problem, seriously, call me. I will meet you. I will talk to you. We will go there. If I screwed up, I'll be the first one to say, I apologize, I screwed up, and we'll fix it. This will get done. There is no question in my mind. Brandon Gallen, I know him for many years. He's not a fly-by-night contractor by any stretch of the imagination. So this will get done.
Okay, so but moving forward, we're gonna have more of a back and forth communication.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whatever you want, like I said, if you want me here, I'll be here. Whatever you guys want, I will do.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Rob, actually, I just have one more question. I know that, is it true that there are several of the new towers that are out?
Fixed.
They're all fixed.
Resolved, yeah.
Excellent, good. I was just curious where we were with that.
That was a screening match.
Really?
Of course, yes, there always is. There always is in construction.
Yeah.
Yes. One thing I've noticed this evening, and this is a personal thing, I didn't realize how bald the back of my head really is.
Bald is beautiful. Remember that.
Just
There's a non sequitur for you.
when I got here, and I'm even more depressed than my now.
So is there any other question from a member of council? Mr. Costa and Associates, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
We're waiting on 2 lights for the piers that have been back ordered for 12 weeks. I'll
For what?
Follow up. There's 2 lights missing.
Oh, yeah, and there's one that's out right now.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, we'll know about that. Get on that. Get on Steve, call him right now.
Yeah, it might have just went out today. I noticed it when I walked in.
Okay.
It's on the right hand
Bollards,
side.
The bollard?
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that a Ballard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a picture, we'll send it to Steve, the electrician, immediately tell him to go fix it.
I was gonna call
Well, we're
Jason,
waiting
but
on-
this is better.
We're waiting on 2 lights, 2 pier lights, and then other than punch list items, this project is complete and there's some punch list.
Are we also done with the former window to the bathroom?
As soon as the weather gets better. the
That
mason
gets
will be
bricked
back.
up or
We're
something?
gonna bring it.
Nice, good,
That'll be done.
cool.
And I think I haven't heard any complaints on that.
No.
This could be a test
No,
on
just,
on the snow.
On the radiant heater,
oh, yeah.
No?
for the radiant
For
heater.
the radiant heating.
It's so far, it's worked awesome. And Jason's very happy with it. Yeah.
Well, he actually, I said, maybe we should put it throughout the entire town and then we'll have Legion. I mean, I think so. Stop it.
Rob, it's so good you came.
All
All
right. And
right.
again, I apologize. Yeah. Hat in hand.
Okay.
And I will get this done, I promise.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks to
Good night,
all of
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
Greg. All right. Joe, do you need to address the council for fees for spring sports?
Just depending on how.
Do you just want to explain to the council what's going on?
Sure.
Would you state your name and your role?
Joe Ricca, Joseph Ricca, Recreation Director.
Okay, Joe, go ahead.
Based on the presentation we just saw, I suggest as the Recreation Director to waive the fees for the spring sports that only use KBG. There's only men's softball right now and 2 teams in the league, 3 teams, a couple teams in the league. The only leagues that use KBG until KBG is open to waive their recreation fee for the time being.
For the council's benefit, how big is that recreation fee and when would they have normally started? So that there'd be justification for why
Yeah,
we're,
so they usually started first or the first week of April once the water's on. As you heard, weather dependent, he's shooting for May 1st. It could be longer. So that's missing some.
and what,
points.
how much money is that fee and how is it normally paid?
It's usually paid outside of the registration fee.
Okay,
So it's $20 a person. Roughly, I don't have the number off the top of my head, roughly between $2,000 and $3,000, which I don't see that being an issue. With the money that we have bringing in.
I don't want to speak for the council, but I think that it needs to be written as a memo sent to the council prior to the next meeting or whatever meeting you want the council to address it, and then the council could consider it given the facts.
Sure. Give that to you.
Is
But-
that like a good faith gesture?
Well, that's why I'm saying we should move forward with it, because in my opinion, if you can't charge people a fee for a field they can't use.
They would be paying for a fee for their recreation. It would not be, so how recreation works is we get $20. Every program on top of the instructional fee, instructor fee, on top of equipment fees, whatever these leagues charge themselves, we get $20 from that. So if it's $50, 20 comes to us, 30 comes to them. They would still be getting that, they would still be getting charged $30.
So in the memo, you would delineate
And I would give you 20.
what the gross fee would be, what our net cost fee would be, and whether you're talking about an adjustment for a period of the time or for the full amount. And you would be making that recommendation. And if you could send it to Lizette, and Lizette will send it to the whole council. And the budget committee may want to review it before the council decides on it, but it seems like I don't see how we can charge people for a field they're not using.
Sure.
And we might want to prorate it. So say, well, we would normally take 20, you're going to get a month out of a 2-month schedule.
Exactly.
So maybe we
Okay.
we prorate it 50%. So make that recommendation and bring it. Council is good with that process?
Can I add something to
Sure.
that? Because again, I'm not sure where the pickleball court fits into this schedule, but, and I'm just assuming that the pickleball court is an easier situation, that they're going to code it, just as the engineers said, they're going to code it as soon as we have 3 days of 40-degree weather. So probably it's not going to be an issue. But if for some reason the pickleball court is delayed beyond May 1st.
May I interrupt you for a second? They still have access to pickleball court in the Veterans
On
Memorial
tennis
Park.
courts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. We
So,
aren't going to close that until this is up and running.
okay, so the fee structure though, when people pay their fees for the tennis courts, the way it works now is you pay a fee for the use of the tennis courts, but but you're able to play pickleball on the tennis courts. Here, it seems if your plan is to close the pickleball courts on the tennis courts, then people will be paying a separate fee just for the pickleball courts. Is that accurate?
That is not correct, no.
Okay,
So-
can you
so,
clarify
yeah,
that?
So all residents pay either tennis memberships or pickleball memberships. Past couple of years since we opened the tennis or the pickleball memberships, done the same courts. People get confused. They
Right.
may sign up for a tennis membership.
Mhm.
This will not affect that. If you sign up for a pickleball membership, you will get access to the new pickleball courts when they are
It's just a change of venue.
just a change of the.
Right, but if you're paying for,
You
so
would
for
not-
example, you wouldn't pay for pickleball plus tennis now, or last summer, for example. You wouldn't pay a pickleball fee plus a
Correct.
tennis fee. But now, if you play both tennis and pickleball, would you be paying one fee for pickleball and then an additional fee for the tennis? That's my question.
I'll have to go back.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because that's,
In
That
this,
might
we
need to
may
be
want
worked
to
out.
just have one fee for both of them until
Yeah.
we separate them. And that's something also you can recommend to the council in your memo. That's a great comment,
Thank you.
Councilman.
can I
Yeah,
keep going?
keep going.
Since we have you here.
Sure.
Is there a plan to renovate the tennis courts at some point? And when is that?
We have a new special
Projects and-
project.
I'm not sure what that means in terms of timing.
So the.
Is that this year?
The
or-
council, go ahead, Lizette.
Yes, the governing body has to decide what to do with a special projects engineer, but we have funding to fix or refurbish or reconstruct the tennis courts and Memorial Park once once we have a special projects engineer to
I
work on
see.
the design. We were able to move the open space grant for the Memorial Park renovation, but that renovation is much more extensive than we thought. So instead of losing the funds or having to go back to the county coffers for another municipality, we were able to, since the tennis courts are still considered part of Memorial Park, we were easily able to transfer the scope of the project. So we have the funding in place. So once we have the special projects engineer, we can move forward with planning, design, bid specs. We don't have to wait for the capital budget or anything like that.
So that timing it would be sometime this year.
It would be this year because we, in addition to transferring the project, we obtained an extension to complete the project by, I think, December of
Mm.
this year. So it will be
Okay.
done this
Thank you for that.
Now, where are we with the special project engineer?
year. That requires discussion among governing body.
Public or closed session?
Closed.
Okay, good.
I have one last question. I'm sorry, just a real quick question. On the new pickleball courts, can there be, like, now we have a AED
There is an AED on location.
at the new
Oh.
location?
It's on the concession stand. It is within the timeframe that you need.
Okay, so it's in the vicinity of the
Correct.
pickleball
Yeah.
courts. Okay.
That's
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Anybody else? Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
All right.
You too.
Can I have a motion and second to open the public on any item, agenda or otherwise?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstention? Hearing none, it is unanimous. Are there any would you like to address the council? Come forward, your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes. And we just check to see if there's anyone online. If you're online, please raise your hand. Go ahead.
Good evening, Rob Berninger, 205 Madison Avenue. Actually had something prepared, but with Mr. Costa's update, just for the benefit of the council, 3:20, if the sod goes down, which is on a Friday.
Rob, just for the public's benefit and for the council's benefit, explain your role in regards to rec.
My role, I am currently on the board of River Edge Little League as the umpire in chief.
Cool.
Um,
And you've had a long history with that board and others, if I'm not
I've been
mistaken.
a volunteer with River Edge recreation programs for over 25 years.
Yes, you have.
Past president of River Edge Little League. I've coached baseball teams on all the fields in town, Cherry Hill, Roosevelt, Memorial, KBG. I've played on KBG as a member of the River Edge Men's Softball League.
I just wanted the council as well as the public to understand that your comments are coming from a wealth of history.
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. Just back on
Yeah.
his dates, that 3/20 date is a Friday. 6 weeks from that date is May 1st.
Mhm.
If there's anything that he could do or you guys can do to possibly push that up in March, that would give you the 6 to 8 week time that you need that sod to be down before it's played on. Just as a note, high school sports, which the high school is going to be using that field, they go out on the field on March 9th. They start playing on March 16th. Back to this. I was thrilled to hear that the baseball field was going to be converted to a turf infield. I've umpired all over the state of New Jersey, from Little League games, club tournament games, high school games. I've seen an increase in turf fields over the years. If you were to ask me 10 years ago about turf infields, I would have answered that my preference is natural grass. However, as the technology of turf has improved, the game is actually safer when it's played on turf. There's no bad hops hidden in the grass that come up and hit a fielder in the face. There's no crooked foul lines painted by a coach rushing to line a field without a guideline. As an umpire, having that straight line, I love it. There's no wet clay dragged off the field into the grass that eventually becomes a lip and a trip hazard or a burn spot in the grass. After a downpour, these turf fields drain quickly and play can resume almost immediately. Majority of turf fields I've umpired on have portable mounds.
Rob, 20 seconds.
Okay, the slope is built to league specifications. The top of the mound is level with the pitching rubber, providing a consistent plate for a pitcher to kick off. My concern with KBG is the decision to use a clay mound. This goes back 15 years of dealing with poorly groomed mounds. Historically, the teams that use the baseball field rarely take the time to condition and repair the mound after games, resulting in a hole in front of the rubber, another hole where the pitcher lands.
Rob, I have to stop you. I'm sorry. It's 3 minutes, but I take it that what you're saying is you want the council to look into reconsidering the clay mound.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want the council to look into? And you can make a copy of that letter and email that to us or send it to us through Ms. Apatella. And technically, I'm not supposed to give you any more time, but if you could just say real quick whether there's a more of a concern that you have.
I would just ask you to consider that if the entire infield was turfed, it opens it up to other possibilities for other sports, adult kickball, adult softball, Regal softball, River Edge Little League. If the need arose for them to have to use the field at night under the lights and baseball wasn't using it, you have options if the entire field is turfed.
Okay. Now you can also call any of us, and if you want to hang out, the rest of the meeting should not go long and talk to us personally. Just the public portion has to be limited to 3 minutes. And send it to Lizette and your concerns, and she's our business administrator, and she'll speak to Joe, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there any other person who would like to speak before this body? Hearing none, could I have a motion and second to close to the public?
So moved.
I'm going to consent to that. A motion and second. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, any opposed, any abstentions? Hearing none. There are monthly reports that are on record. Fire prevention for December, library board trustees, January, and tax collector for December. Any member of the public would like to see those reports, please contact the clerk's office. Second reading and hearing on ordinances. The following ordinance published here within was first read by title only on January 6, 2026 and posted on a bulletin board outside the clerk's office. Ordinance 26-1 and ordinance to fix the salary, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2026. Can I have a motion and second to open to public on this ordinance only?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Madam Apatella, could you please explain to the public what we look to do with this ordinance?
This ordinance establishes the salary ranges, the minimum, maximum for both part-time and full-time, non-represented employees of the Borough of River Edge, non-represented meaning they're not covered under any collective bargaining agreement.
So this isn't what we pay them, this is simply the range in which we could pay them.
Yes, that is the range on the consent agenda. The actual salary ordinance is listed for said employees within the range.
Excellent. Any member of public have a question? Anyone online? No hands are up? All right. Could I have a motion and second to close to the public?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. All right. It is open for debate. Is there debate? Could I have a motion and second to adopt? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Okay, in a moment, can I have a motion and second to move resolutions 26-58 through 2674? And once we move them for transparency reason only, we will read 2674, but we are moving all of them. Could I have a motion for 26-58 through 26-74?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there debate for any item listed?
I don't have a debate, but I have a clarifying questions, if you
Sure,
may.
absolutely.
And I guess, like always, we address it to Ms. Aportela. Resolution 2661. If you could, for the edification of the council and the public, what is exactly the Employee Assistance Program Shared Services Agreement?
Yes, through the Bergen County Health Department, they offer this to all 70 municipalities. It is a conduit for employees, whether part-time or full-time, of the borough to receive assistance from the county, whether it's a mental health issue, a family issue, anger management, issues within the family, and it helps guide them to programs that the county offers or makes recommendations on specialists that, because of the circumstances that employees are going through, they just don't know the resources and where to turn to.
Thank you. And 2662, as I understand it from the resolution itself, there is a grant that through the DPW, we have been able to obtain money to refurbish the library bathroom. Could you explain how much the libraries stand to gain from the bathroom improvement with this grant?
Yes, through the Federal Community Development Block Grant Program, the borough received an award to use up to $138,790 just to cover construction costs to bring the bathrooms up to code in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The grant does not cover the soft costs of utilizing the borough engineer, and in speaking with them about a week or so ago, they may also need to retain an architect just to make sure that there are no structural issues. But the construction value is, again, $138,790.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No further.
Any other member of council want to ask a question for clarification or state a position?
Yes, Mayor, not stating a position, but just for clarification, 26-73. If that can just be clarified.
So you're asking about authorize the Borough of River Edge to execute and ratify a memorandum of agreement with
Yes,
the
I don't
River Edge
remember seeing
Superior
that.
Offers?
I don't remember seeing that before.
Sure.
With
I just wanted to read it into the record for
Got
the
it.
public to
Okay,
get it.
sorry.
So, in December, when there was the memorandum of agreement regarding the captain's positions and when promotions would go into effect, like for the sergeant's position, we do have a waiting list. For the lieutenant's position, in our code, there's a promotional process that involves oral testing, written testing, um, uh, personnel jacket review, peer evaluations, and then ultimately the interview with the mayor and council, and the code assigns certain percentages to each level of the process. However, due to the time constraints with this process, the testing does take a lot of time to schedule, hold, and then grade and let us know, okay, who from the written can move forward to the oral. So since this is time sensitive, the chief first obtained information from the sergeants who would be eligible for the promotion, who was going to go for it. And then those who are seeking to throw their hat in the ring, they had to agree to forego the written and oral test. So, but in order to, that can't just be a memo or just something signed. It requires an official resolution. Once the sergeants sign it, then it would go to the mayor to sign it, and then it's executed, and we could just continue with the process.
Okay, so this is specific to these particular officers.
Yes, it's only these particular officers for this particular position.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Question?
It's a good question.
You need to turn on your mic. Good, you're on.
I have a question regarding 2671,
Sure.
regarding the salary resolution. So all the numbers written over here, if this is one of the resolutions, then we are approving it. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Is if there is anything we want to ask before and I'm sorry, I didn't read it before. Can I wait till the meeting is over and can I talk to you?
Yes, if you have a particular question or if you need to digest it further.
I did speak to you, but I don't know if it's something for a close.
No, that would be discussed during the budget process. At that grouping.
I thought like this is for 2026.
Yes, but as
So it's been proposed.
that salary resolution is what we have funded in the budget. So if during the budget process, if any salary for any position is to be changed, then we do another salary resolution.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
I would just note real quick, 2673 refers to an exhibit A, it's attached. I'm sure you guys will attach it.
It's in the link though.
It's in the link.
It's in the link.
Okay, good.
All right. Any other questions? Excellent job, council. Madam Clerk, roll, yes, would you please,
Previous year when we just read it, like in a separate,
you read it one way or another.
I know.
Go ahead.
Because after.
It creates one vote instead of two since we have to do a roll call.
County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on January 22nd, 2026. Be it resolved that the mayor and council of the borough of River Oaks approve the following expenditures. Current funds, $2,795,554.66. General capital fund, $172,662.95. Grant fund, $1,570. Trust other, $88,084.60. Payroll, $23,732. Recreation trust, $1,095.
Okay, now we are moving 2658 through 2674. 2674 was read into the record for transparency. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, you need to turn on your mic because it doesn't get picked up on. No, try it again. Just look for the green light. You're on.
Do you want me to start over?
Yes, please.
Okay. Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
Yes.
Council President Kinsella?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Darillo?
Yes, but I would like to recuse myself from all resolutions and bills pertaining to Recreation Department.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Yes.
Okay, we have new business, proposed amendment to, so that passed unanimously. Proposed amendments to chapter 33, Fire Department. Madam Clerk. Administrator, that's right, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Yes, the fire department is requesting a couple of amendments to the chapter in the code pertaining to them, specifically using the National Emergency Response Information System to record alarm data, updating language regarding civic officers. I think there was a couple other changes, member status, removal of member, and the residency requirement. So the draft proposal was reviewed by the borough attorney and along with the bylaws to make sure there aren't any conflicts. So it's up to the governing body to determine whether you wish to move forward with the requested changes. And if so, then Mr. Shedanian would put the changes into ordinance form.
And this went to the council just for the public's knowledge prior, so they've had time to look at this, correct?
Yes, I believe it was before Chief Schlossberg's term was over in December.
Yes. So does the council first of all have discussion, debate, or comment?
No, just wondering, this was obviously proposed by both chiefs
Yes.
in both houses. And
Chief Sanders and who is the
I
current
mean,
chief?
the company,
Both
One-
company one and two.
company 1 and 2. I just want to make sure, not the both chiefs. I didn't mean it that way.
Who's
Both
our-
houses, I should
Yes.
say.
Who's our liaison to the fire department right now?
I am.
You are. Do you have any comment from Chief Schlossberg that you'd like to add? No? Okay. Does any member of council have a concern? Okay, is the council in agreement? Do we have concession that this should move forward?
Yes, if that's what they agree.
That's what
Yes.
Okay, let's move it forward. Let's do it real quick. Can I have a motion second to move it forward?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstention? Having none, it is unanimous. River Edge, PTO tricky trade donation.
Yes, the Parent and Teacher Associate Organization, they're conducting a fundraiser, a raffle known as a Tricky Trade. And what they asked is for, if possible, if Recreation could help with donations by offering 1 free camp membership, and that includes a T-shirt, to put as part of the raffle for the fundraising. And that, like I said, is just the membership and the T-shirt. If this is authorized, it would have to be done by
No,
resolution.
actually.
No?
We did talk,
Oh.
sorry. I'm not used to getting this on every time. The business administrator borough administrator asked me, if this should be done by resolution. I think ultimately the answer is yes, but I think the resolution is actually going to be for the borough to enter into a contract with the PTO to authorize that relationship. I did a little more research after I spoke to Ms. Appertella, and there's the issue that I was concerned about, and I found that I remember there a long time ago I read a case about this. Public entity can't give money to a private entity. You can't give anything of value to a private entity. It's public funds. So by us donating to the PTO, which is a private entity, even though it's for public purpose, there has to be a contractual document that references that relationship and says that they will only use it for a public purpose, which giving it for raise money for the PTO and for the students at the schools is a public purpose. So you're allowed, it's the way you're allowed to do it. It's just a mechanism that keeps the borough from directly donating the money to a private entity and not having it codified that we're doing this for a public purpose. So it's like why we couldn't buy somebody's piece of property for them if they said, oh, we needed to do this.
My concern, as always, and has been historically, does this create a precedent? And then are we obligated to say to other groups that may want us to donate? For instance, there was recently a request for us to donate to the Bergen County Academy. And so I caution the council from doing something like this. I think it's noble. I think it's great. And if you want to do it from out of your own pocket, I think that's good. But I am very concerned about us doing it from the dais. and doing it from taxpayer dollars.
Totally agree.
And also there was regarding RE 250, they were thinking of getting gift cards from the recreation to be given at the fun run for one of their events, and the recreation denied it. So
For
we
the
are
same reason.
for the same reasons.
So, I mean, this body should discuss this. I don't, but I would caution whether this body should recommend this to move forward or not. What is the body's thought?
I'm all in favor of making private donations to organizations, and I'm happy to do it. But totally agree with you, Mayor. Thank you.
I think because this is going to benefit River Edge PTO,
Mhm.
I'm in favor of it.
Okay,
For the other entity, I agree with you.
okay. Any other thoughts? Any other debate?
I'm in favor with what you said. Like if we open for one, we should be fair to all. Why only River Edge PTO? There are many other organizations that would need help.
Well, I think my position is if we're gonna do it, we need to make sure that we do it only for the benefit of organizations that are in River Edge.
Yes.
I would not use taxpayer monies to make a gift to a school that is not within our jurisdiction. That's one. If there is a contract to be made, the PTO will have to understand why there is a need to do that contract and why there is a difference between a public use, which is technical at best, and it would be a conversation. My question is, even though the BOE is a separate entity, but they are beholden to the BOE, can the donation be done through the BOE? And there is then negates the need for a contract with a private entity?
You mean, can we donate can the borough donate to the Board of Education and then the Board of Education gives it to the PTO? I mean, that's a workaround. That would be, I think, defeating the purpose of requiring the PTO. And as a former BOE member in my town, and as well as my wife was the PTO president for a number of years, the PTO is not beholden to the BOE.
Okay.
PTO is an independent organization.
Okay.
They do what they want to do. Their funds that they raise, they're like a 501c3. It's a private non-for-profit entity. So they have a private corporate status, and they're not beholden to the BOE. So that would be my same concern.
Okay, I take back what I said before.
So you've changed your
I
position?
have changed my decision, yes, as you just explained it.
And just so the public understands, and there's a lot of organizations we believe in very much in, but it becomes very problematic because there is St. Peter's School and there's the St. Peter's Carnival. There's daycares, two different daycares in town,
More
I
than
think
two.
run by churches. Okay, there is, and the Bergen County Academy request was sent to us because we have River Edge students there.
Right.
It becomes
Merc.
murky. And then what would be a reasonable amount? Would 50 be a reasonable amount? Well, if we're after 100, why would we say no to 100? What would be our criteria for saying no to 100, but yes to 50? You know, it's such a great thing, and people should donate, but it becomes problematic from the dais.
Right.
So is there anyone on council who would like to make a motion for us to move this forward? If no one makes a motion, then the item fails. Hearing none, the item fails. For all the good reasons we suggest. And I strongly recommend that, if you want to donate, that's you should.
They reach out to me, I'll send the check
Alright.
tomorrow.
Old business, is there any old business?
New business, Mayor.
Okay, go
I want to
ahead.
congratulate our new Chief Sanders, to be our new chief at the fire.
That
department.
would technically be new business that the
Old
council
business.
comments, but that's okay. Okay.
Congratulations, Chief Sanders.
Yes, I was very honored to swear him in, and Rivas, also River Edge Volunteer Ambulance
Yes,
Service,
yes.
will be
Captain
having
Nicole.
soon, and I know that we thank those volunteers also, as well as all the volunteers who have become part of our many commissions, committees, and boards. Yeah, no, but that's really good. I agree. And I'm glad you brought it up as a liaison from the fire department. Okay. So, any other new business? Okay. Any old business?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
The RE 250 committee is forming a line of events to celebrate 250 years of America all throughout the year. So if anybody would like to help, reach out, please reach out to either one of us or reach out to Eric Modell from the town. Thank you.
Excellent. Any other old business? Okay, any council comments, any liaison comments?
I have a comment. So with the incoming weather and the snow, everyone just be helpful to the DPW if we can move our cars from the streets so they can plow and can start salting and doing everything that they have to do in preparation for the shoveling after the snow falls.
Fine, I think that's it.
Thank
Great
you.
point. You know, I'm like down on the south end of town now. And I was walking my dog the morning of the last snowstorm. And I had the unpleasant experience of seeing the police department towing, I mean, a subcontractor was towing cars that were parked on Bogart Road. So, I hope the word gets out this time.
So there are certain streets that are no snow by signage,
Yeah.
and the residents there do know it, and it is there. Most of the streets in town don't, and I think that's the comment
That's the
that
yeah.
where you were going. Yeah, it's terrible when people
Yeah.
get towed, but
Yeah.
it's
We have to do it for safety.
Yeah.
But
And not only that,
Hopefully
don't
the
block
word-
the hydrants also.
I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, I think we got to get the word out any way we can so people don't get their cars started. We avoid having to do that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
yeah, excellent, excellent.
And I just have one comment, Mayor. I want to thank you again for swearing me in tonight for the API, to the API Commission as a commissioner.
And on
Thank you.
behalf of the entire town, congratulations. Your success is our success.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah,
quick-
go ahead.
Quick comment. We don't necessarily have to discuss this tonight, but I wanted to at least put it on the radar. You and I have talked about this issue very briefly. But I have to mention it, if only to preserve my marriage, because this is a big issue for my wife. But I think a lot of people also would share this issue. The LED sign outside Borough Hall, my understanding is that there is some discussion or a plan
No,
to
it's
move
been
it.
decided by the council to replace it with a static sign, and Jason Melito is presented to the council several different options. The council chose to have the DPW do it. I don't know, Lizette, do you know where we are with that?
No, we cut the purchase orders prefabricated.
Okay,
And what's going to happen to the existing?
it's gonna be removed. It doesn't work anymore.
It worked since before construction.
Now,
Hmm,
a place that the council could consider putting an LED sign would be at Main and Kindercamac. Because there is, first of all, a light there where the sign would be on a corner. And, but that would require the council budgeting for it. And there would also have to be removal of some trees if we did that, because we already did remove some trees to make the sign visible. And the council could consider that, and you, and we can certainly put that into new business for the next meeting. Would you like us to?
I would like
And
that,
and if I
yeah.
may, it will have to be included in traffic and safety because that is a very heavy intersection for a sign that is bombarding people with messaging.
That's true,
Yeah.
and the procedure I just mentioned was wrong. It needs to go to traffic and safety, so, and you could champion that by going to the next, sending an email to, Officer Sergeant Diamond.
Okay.
It's about to say, that's,
But also, Bruce, remember,
Mhm.
that actually requires maintenance and that is
Absolutely.
faulty at best. So there's a lot of downside to that, that
Yeah.
actually has a cost of maintenance that you will have to champion.
The
that.
cost for
Yeah.
the sign is extremely high as
And
well.
there's,
There's the
also-
maintenance.
there's electrical issue. I mean, we had the tree there and the tree was lit up, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
But it was an extension cord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
No,
No,
remember,
if we put it in, it would be run
Yeah.
underground. and-
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's a cost.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
100%.
the
Absolutely.
maintenance as well, so.
Right.
Just remember, there's also revenue that can be generated from that sign. And we don't have to get into that discussion right now, but
No, but
there's a cost to it, but it also benefits the town.
Yeah, no, and I have no objection to it. Like anything else, like we just talked about with the donation, you know, we have to look at all the factors. But step one would be going to traffic and safety, and then step two would be traffic safety would then send a recommendation to council. And if council wished to consider it, then it would go to the budget committee, and it would also go to the DPW. And then they would weigh in on it.
Okay, we'll do it one step at a time.
You want
Yeah.
Winnie to be happy though.
I'll do whatever I can to make her happy. But I do think there's some merit to it. Other towns obviously do it. A lot of other towns do it. So
A lot
if it
of the-
can,
Sorry, Bruce, a lot of the other towns, if you see on the signs, they're donated by a car company or a restaurant.
and that may be the way to do it.
Maybe that's the way that we should go as opposed to putting it into, because it's upwards at the first time it was 65,000. It's probably blown up since then.
Yeah, if there's an openness to having it, then the question is how to pay for it. And if people are open to having it paid for by a donation and everybody's happy with that, then there's a path.
Are we
Yes, absolutely.
advertising?
100%.
Not to go down the rabbit.
Yeah.
hole, but-
Well, actually, we shouldn't
Yeah.
go down the rabbit hole right now.
Yeah.
It needs to go to traffic safety first, then it would come back to us, and then we can go down that rabbit hole and it'd be under new business. All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Only because it's not a productive conversation. Any other old business? And no, I'm sorry, we passed council comments. Any other council comments? Okay, could I have a motion and second? I'm going to modify to a modified version of Resolution 26-75. I'm going to read the modification in. So resolution go into closed session, exclude the public, attorney-client privilege, NJSA 10:4-12B7. Item 1, Borough Hall update. We're amending to include item 2, potential commodity resale agreement.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We will not be returning to public session, so could I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I'll take that as a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned.